Hi everyone, welcome back to my 6th video in my series where we dive deep into the powerful stories from How the Secret Changed My Life book by Rhonda Byrne. If you've been following along, you know that these stories are all about how applying the law of attraction can transform our lives in surprising and inspiring ways. In today's video, we're looking at a story from page 166 titled Harassed in Every Job by Annette from Florida, USA. Annette shares a deeply personal journey that begins with years of frustration and anger in the workplace. She found herself constantly dealing with difficult employers and feeling trapped in a cycle of negativity. But after discovering the secret, Annette realized how her own thoughts had been shaping her experiences all along. It's a powerful reminder that we have the ability to shift our mindset, change our thoughts, and ultimately transform our reality. So grab a seat, get comfy, and let's dive into this amazing story of transformation. For years, I was getting angrier and angrier in jobs. I always seemed to find the worst possible employer to work for. It was all God's fault. And the angrier I got at God, the worse things seemed to get, and the more I hated God. When I started working for a local printer, doing electronic pre-press, I was always looking around to see if this was going to be the same old, or if this place might be different. As far as I could see, everyone was great to work with. I was actually having a good time and enjoying my co-workers and supervisor. Until 3 months after I started, the printer decided to branch out into digital printing and asked if I would do the electronic pre-press for the new digital printer. I said, sure, I would love to. They made the one guy who couldn't get along with anyone my supervisor. He harassed me, left mean notes on my chair when I went to lunch, and was making an enormous number of errors that he blamed on me. Long story short, they fired me after 6 months. I felt suicidal. I thought it was over. I was sick of this. I saw God up there laughing at me. I hated like I've never hated in my life. A friend gave me the secret DVD, and I saw for the first time how I had created that whole reality of being harassed in every job I had. It all made so much sense. My thoughts had been, he better not talk to me like that again. Why is it I always end up next to the most difficult person in the company to work with? I am not good enough. I hope I don't get fired. I hope they don't figure out that I don't know what I'm doing. I hope they don't figure out I am fake. Those are just some of the many negative thoughts that were constantly going through my mind. I wrote down all those thoughts. I looked at them in all their problematic ugliness, and I wrote their opposite positive thoughts on the other side of the page. At first, it felt worse. So I rephrased the positive thoughts as questions and desires. What would it feel like to know I can work with easygoing, moral people? What would it feel like to make more money than ever made before? I would love to work for a publisher one day. That would be cool. I want to be working by, and I filled in the date. On the very date I'd fill in, I got called for an interview with a publisher and got the job. Although I'm no longer at that job, my co-workers were among the most easygoing, understanding, and moral people I'd ever met. I had no idea companies like that really existed. And yes, I was making more money than I'd ever made in the past. Do I still get fearful thoughts? Yes. Do I entertain them? Not for long. I know I don't have to. Before, I didn't know I had a choice. Now, when a negative thought comes up, I focus on its opposite. Or if that's too extreme for me to comprehend at the moment, I change it to a question. What would it feel like if? And that has been a very powerful tool for me. I am definitely not perfect at this. I take a few steps backward some days, more often than I like to admit. But I am now running my own small business and making even more money than I have in the past. My business is growing rapidly, and I'm at a point where I need to start thinking of expanding to the next level. I hope everyone out there gives this a shot. It really works. And if it doesn't work for you, ask, what would it feel like if it did work for me? And it will work. Remember that the law of attraction is always working, whether you realize it or not. If you don't have what you desire, it's a reflection of how you are using the law. You are still creating your reality, and the law is responding to you, even if it's not in the way you expect. Once you understand this, you can harness your incredible power to attract what you truly want. Do you want to learn more about affirmations? If yes, don't miss my other video. It's just a click away, either above or on the end screen. And if you enjoy this one, why not to like, subscribe for more content like this, and pop a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching, and have a brilliant day.